All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Are you ready for some conversation on how to become more curious? My name is Sean Murphy. I'll be your host for the next little bit. My conversations with you come from an experience based upon 40 years of human potential, helping people unlock their human potentiality. I've stood on stage in 30 plus countries, been translated into over 40 languages. All of that to say that and 25 cents won't get you a cup of coffee. My goal today is to help you become more curious. When you decide that you're going to take a new step, move into a new venture, help people have more, drop an H in the chat if you love to help people have more. The thing that we're not usually taught in sales, we're taught prospecting, we're taught probing, we're taught finding out their solution, finding their why. We're taught all of these amazing tools. And the reality is that the first step, well, let me put it this way. If you found somebody in a bar that you thought was pretty spectacular in your life, you might, some of you are a little gutsy. I wouldn't. But most of us would walk up to somebody and wouldn't say, hey, listen, let's get married and have kids. That's probably not how you begin a conversation. You have to create some curiosity. Is there a mix? Is there a blend? Is there a flow? Is there a relationship? We call it rapport, right? Build rapport. You know what rapport is? The ability to create a curiosity that people find that you're the solution for it. That's what rapport is. Building a relationship. A relationship is curiosity. How many of you are curious about your spouse? Curious about your team? How many of you have conversations with people and you say, yeah, I never knew that about you? See, that's when you uncover curiosity. We do it through asking questions. We do it through communicating, through connecting. So my question for you today is, how curious were you about your day this morning? It's a Tuesday. It's a day that ends in a Y. I don't know that there's a big reason to be curious about a Tuesday, but I can tell you it would become a day that would go in the books if you became more curious about it. Are you curious about your wellness today? Are you going to choose to eat a little bit healthier today? Maybe you ate healthier yesterday. How many of you know about a cheat day? I don't fully understand that. Why would you cheat on yourself? Why is there this joy, this I've got to take the pressure off? What would be the curious question you would ask if you never had a cheat day again? What do you need a cheat day for? To be like everybody else? Aren't you trying to not be like everybody else right now? Aren't you wanting to create more income? Aren't you curious about how to create more income? Curious how to create more wealth? Curious how to create a bigger team? That's what you go to events for, is you're curious how to create a bigger team. That's why you go to your national events, your regional events, your global events, is what are other people doing to create success? Drop a C in the chat if you go because you're curious. Do you know why some people don't go to events? They ain't curious. The big challenge is that when most people come back from an event, back from a thing that they did, most people aren't curious because they know they're going to be told you should have been there. You don't give anybody a chance for curiosity. Oh my God, you missed it. That doesn't create curiosity. Do you know what's that thing that you wanted? I'm going to ask you, what's that thing you wanted in the next 30 days, 60 days, next week? What's that thing? Bring it up to your mind. Bring it into your conscious mind. Bring it out of that other than conscious mind and bring it into your conscious mind. What's that thing you want? See, I can help you get that. You didn't even know what I said. I got an idea. Because here's what I'm pretty sure it'll take. If you'll be curious with me for just a moment, here's what I know it will take. It'll take you using some skills and talents you haven't used in a while. It'll take you becoming aware of doing things in a different way. It'll for sure require you to think in a different way. Whatever the goal is that you want that you don't have, you're going to have to think different, do different, and be different. That I'm sure of. Now, are you curious enough how to figure that out? It's called self-talk neuroencoding. It's called binaural beats. It's called a few handful of things that you can do more with. How many of you know of self-talk? You've heard of self-talk. You have self-talk. You can upgrade your self-talk. What if you upgraded your self-talk to being curious? I'm curious. How does my body feel right now? Ask yourself that. How does your body feel right now? What would I do if I wanted to elevate its energy, if I wanted to raise its energy, if I wanted to raise its vibration? Smile. How many of you know how to smile? Tell your face. You know how to smile. Tell your face. Can you raise your vibration? Do you feel that vibration raise? Drop a Y in the chat if you feel your vibration raising. See, from this place, you can become more curious about more positive things. It's simply that simple. See, we have been programmed to be average. We've been programmed to use curiosity as a way to tiptoe into the world of greatness, and yet we might avoid it. So now the question becomes, how do I move into, what do I move into, where do I move into this new understanding? So can you become more curious about your day? Not about everybody else's, not about how you can help them. Because if you become more curious about your day, there's a good chance you'll be able to provide some solutions to other people who are curious. Isn't it true? Wouldn't it be, we always say, I'm looking for 10 people who want more in their life. I've got 10 spots left to help people create their success. Haven't you seen posts like that? Maybe that'll get you to go, I'm curious of what they're doing. What if you were to say, I'm curious, I'm helping people, I'm looking for 10 people who are curious about their wellness. I'm looking for 10 people who might be curious about creating a retirement income. Curious doesn't mean you got to do it. Curious. Are you curious? Do you see where just that simple conversation might change the way people look at you? So, I'm curious. Do you want more? I'm curious. Do you want more? Do you want more in this lifetime? Do you want more in the next 60 days than you've ever had before? I'm curious. How many of you believe that the next 90 days, listen carefully, if you had the proper formula, not more than 24 hours in a day, not that you've got to go work 19 hours a day, but I'm curious, if you had the right formula, how many of you have a business model that would allow you to double your income? That would allow you in the next 90 days, if you really understood how to put your body and energy into work, how to put your spirit into effort. How many of you believe that your business model could pay you all of what 2024 did in the first quarter of, all of what 2023 paid you? How many of you believe that if you really understood your business model, if you really understood human nature and how to move people and keep people engaged, if you understood that, do you believe that would you be curious about how you could make your full year's income in the first quarter of 2024? There's somebody going to do that, right? Somebody is going to do that. So you've got to ask yourself, you have to become curious. Who could teach you that? Who could unlock that for you? The first way that you find out if somebody could do that is, can they speak about it? Do they understand business? Do they understand human nature enough? Do they understand business models enough? Do they understand leverage enough to put the leverage into your hands? See, there's a lot of people who will tell you that if they're involved in your income stream. That's why they do 90-day programs. They're not teaching you to do a 90-day program to have better wellness. They're teaching you how to, they want you to participate in the 90-day program they have to create more income, to build the business. Well, let me ask you, what business are you in? Are you in the business of building other people's dreams, or are you in the business of building yours? I'm curious. I'm just curious. What business are you really in? I'm curious. What business are you really in? You're probably not in the business that your compensation model rewards you for. You're probably in a business bigger than that, that you would like to create a retirement income. You want to pay off some debt. Nowhere in your comp plan is there a way to pay off debt. There's a way to create income. You receive the money and go do stuff with it. So it's what you're going to go do with the money. I'm curious, what do you want in the next 90 days that you've never had in a 90-day run? I'm curious. Here's what I know you'll have to probably be more curious on: self-talk. You'll have to be able to be a little bit more curious how to manage the thoughts, the maniac in your mind, your self-talk. You're going to have to be more curious about intensity of your performance. You're going to have to be absolutely understand what it would mean to do some deep work, what Cal Newport talks about in the book Deep Work. You've done shallow work for so long. How do I know you do shallow work? Because if you ever been caught scrolling, if you've ever been caught watching reels way too long, that was shallow work. If you've not asked your prospects and your business partners their deeper questions of how you can be of best service, of why they decided to join you, what's the big thing? Do you get a request each day of what is it that you want from your business today? Do you help people set intentions? See, if the next 90 days, if you helped the people in your organization set intentions they want, not intentions you want them to have, intentions they want. You were curious about what they wanted. They don't have to be part of your 90 days. They're just part of what you're doing. They don't have to go do a 90-day plan. But what if you decided, hey, listen, I want to help people over the next 90 days have more? As much as you want, or as little as you want, but just more. I promise you, curiosity will change your business. If you want to learn how to use all of that, there's a structure that I've created called NESS, NESS, Neuroenergetic Self-Sculpting. It's a formula that includes tapping and EFT and the chakras and binaural beats and dialogues and self-talk. It's something it's never been combined before. There's been pieces of it and parts of it, and they're all universally, wildly beneficial. And this is one of those cases where more is better. Understanding neuroencoding, understand addiction to approval. That's one of the things I'll be curious to find out, how big your addiction to approval is. That's what keeps you stuck. So if you're curious about all of that, reach out. Between the links on YouTube and Instagram and just finding me here, sending me a message. You know who will reach out is those who are curious. But what kills curiosity is thinking, well, I know all of this. That's what's keeping you stuck, is that you think you know all of this. You may be aware of it, but you don't have a complete knowledge of it. Otherwise, you'd be doing it. If you knew how well it worked, you would be doing it. So until such time, enjoy your day. Become a little more curious about what it is you're capable of, and then ask yourself, enjoy, and have some fun. I'm your head brain training, curious training misfit. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Thanks, Instagram. See you tomorrow. Bye for now. And YouTube, love you tons. Appreciate you. Have an amazing, fun-filled day. I'll see you where?